Welcome to adding and subtracting with decimals. The rule for adding and subtracting decimals is simply to make sure that they're lined up. Here's where the decimal would go in the answer. And we simply add 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 plus 2 is 9. So the answer to this problem is 9.7. Let's try another one that's a little bit more complicated. Let's say that you had 23 plus 0.47 plus 1.6. This problem is written horizontally, and you need to write it vertically so that you can solve it. So we'll start with the 23. 23 doesn't have a decimal showing. So if you don't see a decimal, I always say that it's invisible. It's to the right. So let's make it 23 point, and we'll go ahead and put a 0 after it. And then the next term we will write underneath. I'm going to go ahead and put the decimal here, 0, 4, 7. And then this last one, put the decimal, 1.6. Now we're ready to add. There's empty spots on the right. I'm going to fill those in with zeros. It makes it a little bit easier to add. That's 10, carry your 1, 3, 4, 5. So the answer to this problem, adding with decimal, 25.07. Let's try another one. 11 minus 6.4. In subtraction, the first number always goes on top. So if you're going to write it vertically, you'd write 11. It has an invisible decimal on the right, so we'll put a 0 after it. And then minus, you're going to line up your decimals, 6.4. We're going to subtract. I have nothing, I can't take away 4, so I'm going to have to borrow. That would be 6. Line up our decimals. I have nothing, I can't take away 6, so I'm going to have to borrow, and 10 minus 6 is 4. So the answer is 4.6. Let's try another problem. Let's say that we had 8.4 minus 7. The first number in subtraction is always going to go on top. 7 doesn't have a decimal showing, but it really does have a decimal. It's to the right. I'm going to add a 0 on. Now we're going to simply subtract. That would be 4 and 1. And so the answer to that problem is 1.4. Thanks so much for visiting Adding and Subtracting with Decimals. Check out my other videos.